A picture is worth 1,000 words, a phrase most of us have heard before. And for a reason. Photographs can capture loads of information in just a split second and immortalize it for years to come. By freezing moments, photographers enable us to travel to places and times we've never witnessed ourselves. They allow us to see the world exactly as it was, whether it was yesterday or 100 years ago. 1945, 10-year-old stoic Japanese boy standing at attention, having brought his dead younger brother to a cremation pyre, Nagasaki. (1961) East German soldier ignores orders to let no one pass by helping a young boy cross the newly built Berlin Wall to reunite with his family. Anna Coleman Ladd was an American sculptor who is best known for her work creating prosthetic masks for soldiers who were disfigured during World War I. The Kiss of Life. 1967. (1959), a young French girl poses with glee as she cradles her cat. (1976), Soviet explorer Nikolai Michalyak feeding a polar bear and her cubs with condensed milk and meat near Cape Schmidt off the coast of the Chukchi Sea. 1954, cats stand up on their hind legs to catch squirts of milk during milking at a dairy farm. Photo by Nat Farbman. Beatles fans in 1964 and 2013. Ringo Starr took the top photo from car window after the high school friends skipped school to see the Beatles during their first trip to the US in 1964. Circa 1910. Native American Blackfoot warriors at Glacier National Park, on the shore of St. Mary Lake, Montana. Photo by Roland W. Reed. Members of the Red Warriors, a French youth anti-fascist street gang that used violent force to combat the surge of neo-Nazi violence from France in the mid to late 1980s. Graffiti on troops' helmets during the Vietnam War. (1839), the oldest known photographic portrait of a human in the USA, taken as self-image by photography pioneer Robert Cornelius. He had to remain motionless for 10 to 15 minutes to capture the photograph. Eruption of Mount St. Helens, 1980, by Richard Lasher. Circa 1910. Child minors photographed by Louis Hine. Hine's photographs were instrumental in bringing about the passage of the first child labor laws in the United States. Circa 1929. A little girl hands lilies to a police officer on duty at the Porte Saint-Denis in Paris. (1975), John Cleese on the set of Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Great Blizzard of 1888, New York City. (1967), kangaroo hits a photographer for trying to photograph him, England. Photo by Voller Ernst. (1945), boys hanging on a full train after the liberation of Holland. Photography by Menno Huizinga. September 1945. Australian soldiers catch up on news from home after their release from Japanese captivity in Singapore. 1954, a young boy carrying 2 bottles of wine under his arms, Rue Malfatard, Paris. Photo by Henri Cartier-Bresson. 1920s, traditional Rwandan hairstyle of Amasunzu. 1911, the wreck of the Arden Craig off the Isles of Scilly, west of Cornwall. Photo by Francis James Mortimer. 1912, Grand Central Terminal in New York City, circa 1954. 1894, archaeologists and workers pose in front of the near-perfectly preserved and still upright statue of Antinous, unearthed near the Temple of Apollo in the sanctuary at Delphi, Greece. 1931, German photographer Willy Ruge took this photograph seconds before landing during his 7-minute parachute jump from an airplane over Berlin. 1909, Wakefield, Massachusetts. Young members of the Perot family being photographed by their cat. Photo by Joseph C. Perot. Circa 1910. Portraits of Immigrants at Ellis Island, New York, by Augustus F. Sherman. 1961, audition for a black cat role in a low-budget Hollywood horror movie. 'Listening to the Birds', 1885, by John Dumont. 1930s. A Turkish fisherman returns with his booty. 'Powerhouse Mechanic', 1924, by Louis Hine. 1930s, a Chinese Buddhist monk walking on a chain bridge at Jianyu Figure Hill Temple in China. 1889, a blind man carrying a paralyzed man with dwarfism in Damascus, Syria. Photo by Italian photographer Tancred Dumas. Queen Elizabeth II, 1926 to 2022. 1954, Marilyn Monroe on stage performing for thousands of American troops in Korea.